Barroo.
Yes, yeah, hi.
Hi. Welcome to my office today.
Yeah, I'm very glad to be here. It's a little, you made it a little bit cold in here. The AC is a little too strong, I think, but...
I'm gonna be honest with you. The business is not doing well.
Oh.
Weirdly enough.
Mm.
I made a strict rule that I'm not gonna talk to anyone about COVID. That's all anyone really wants to talk about.
That's...
Not a lot of business left.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's fair. I mean, that's not a very reasonable thing for a therapist, but I guess that's reasonable.
Well, I think that it's healthy for therapists to have emotional boundaries as well.
Yeah.
And that clients should ask, before bringing up things if it's going to be too much for the therapist to talk about. I think it's just respectful.
You're totally right. You're 100% right. Do you think that you are in a space, a mental space, a sort of emotional kind of universe wherein you might be possibly able to discuss Iceland and animals?
I mean, I like animals. I don't know how I feel about countries that aren't America. Let's just go with it, and if it gets a bit too much, I'll just cut you off.
Okay. Well, okay. So the reason that I ask if you're okay with all of that is I saw a movie called Lamb, a little film out of Iceland called Lamb.
Oh, yeah. No, I you know what? I also got a chance to watch that recently. And, much like I said, I did like the parts of the lamb. I wasn't crazy about the parts of the Iceland.
See, that's where you and I differ. Because I loved the parts with the Iceland.
But you didn't like the lamb.
I hated the lamb. No, the lamb was okay. I mean, all right. So let's chop it up a little bit about this movie here, about this little lamb here.
Okay.
First off, really loving this sort of pig, old lamb, just
antlers,
just get it in there, just punch the audience in the face with the name.
Noun. Here's a noun. Here's a plural noun. Whatever you want. Here's an adjective. That's the movie. Come see
it. Yeah, come see it. Here's just a dictionary item. My movie is like the Beyonce of movies.
Yeah.
So come see it.
Did you see Lamb? Oh, the Lamb? No. Lamb. No, the. We're really just dropping the thes this generation.
Yeah. Fuck a the. Who needs a the?
Who needs a the? It's not the lamb. It's a lamb.
Yeah.
But is it really the lamb? No, it's lamb.
It's lamb. Is it
idyllic?
I mean, is it a lamb at all? That's the real question. Oh.
I guess that is sort of the ultimate argument in the film is, what makes a child and a man and a lamb child.
A lamb, but also a child. I'm a big fan of kind of slower cinema in a general sense. I also just fucking found out that Béla Tarr helped produce this movie, which Béla Tarr is a Hungarian legendary filmmaker who's known for doing really kind of, you would call it slow filmmaking. There's Satan Tango, which is his 1994 6-hour film.
Oh.
That I am not all the way through yet, personally. But he's a fucking legend. And I kind of want to... I think it would be easiest to start off with, like, the things that I liked about Lamb, which is to say, first and foremost, I really liked how it was, kind of like following in the footsteps of slow cinema in a general sort of sense. There's all of these kind of slow shots that don't really explain very much about themselves. There's lots of, you see lots of the Icelandic countryside. That stuff is really nice, really pretty. And you see freaky little shots of lambs looking like little freaks and demons.
This movie is really good at making lambs look like just fucked up little aliens.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
they
absolutely.
kind of are.
They're horrible. Have you ever interacted with a sheep or a lamb before?
Oh yeah, they're terrible.
They're terrible.
No,
they're
no
so
manners.
stupid. No manners. They don't listen, but they're very cute. In this movie, we have a good, kind of a Stuart Little situation here. Kind of a hybrid, kind of a furry sort of. You think it's kind of like a furry sort of? It's like a furry, like a fuzzy.
I don't think so
furry?
because it doesn't have a tail. That's the
true.
BoJack Horseman rule. If there's no tail, it's not furry.
And we are not calling BoJack Horseman furry.
Yeah, no.
Now Tuca and Birdie, that's a different story.
Well, do they have tails in Tuca and Birdie?
I hope they do. If they don't,
I actually don't know if they do.
I'm personally writing Lisa
They also
Hannibal.
have plant people.
Yeah.
So.
See, like that counts for something.
Yeah, that kind of puts it enough into the territory that I think it would count.
Yeah, that's freaky shit. That's freak shit. That's good.
We're getting off topic. I would argue that the lamb is not a true anthro because it's a hybrid. It's got one hoof and one human hand.
Very true.
I think 2 regular human feet, which in my mind makes it 3/4 human locomotion style. But then it's got like a complete lamb head, but a seemingly human brain.
Yes, seemingly. We don't really get very much indication.
And we will be getting into spoilers here, so I think that if the lamb, much as another character we see later, is able to use a gun, I would consider that human.
That kind of implies, yeah, some human capacity. Yeah, so let's see. Like, what do you think it all meant? Let's ending explain this shit. What do you think the meaning? What do you think they're trying to say here?
I could give a really uncharitable read, which I'm sure somebody somewhere is getting paid $100 total to write. About like, nationalism, it's naturalistic. The brothers ended up proving right that that thing ain't an animal, it's a child, and that ultimately you can't tame nature, whatever.
Right.
But I think it has probably a lot more to do with their sin is less because they are shown living in and moving in harmony with nature, and that ultimately what their sin ends up being is the refusal to do so. And thus the refusal to truly accept the lamb/Ada, because ultimately they are using her as a replacement daughter for their lost daughter and not accepting her as what she is, which is a mixture of man and nature.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I follow you there. I think that's more or less, I mean, like, there's a lot of kind of foreboding stuff. Like, the horror element of the movie is ultimately this, like, mysterious figure that's, like, hinted at throughout the film.
Yeah.
That it's hinted that it's, like, maybe not like a demon, but certainly like a big version, like a big human sheep hybrid thingy.
Yeah, some sort of being.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know. There's a lot being said in this movie about like what belongs where. Does the lamb belong with humans or in nature with its like demon dad? Who I guess maybe came around to the farm and fucked a non-demon sheep.
Which like I'm sorry, that's still bestiality.
That's still not cool.
Like you clearly have like at least beyond a sheep's sense of like autonomy and like identity and like maybe you don't have air quote human level intelligence. I think the guy does, but clearly enough so that like I don't think it's cool that you fucked a sheep.
Yeah.
I don't think it's okay. I don't think being like weirdly genetically compatible makes that like not bestiality still.
This is good. I'm proud of us for holding accountable the goat monster because
I'm holding his feet to the fire.
Yeah,
on this.
his hooves actually.
His hooves, his one hoof and his 1 foot to the fire on this one, and his massive hog that they show us.
Oh, yeah. He looked kind of bad. Not gonna lie. I mean, if I were a sheep, listen. So there's all of that. There's all of that stuff about like, where does the lamb belong? Does it belong in nature? Does it belong with humans? Blah, 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 blah. How are they using this as like a replacement for something that's missing? And then we have the B plot of, so Ingvar is like the husband and, Maria is the wife, and the wife seems to have a thing for the husband's brother. Which, like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what, like, I'm having trouble, like, kind of seeing where the thoughts are related. Do you know what I mean?
No, I agree. It's that's the kind of thing where it's like, where a lot of the film kind of doesn't click into place for me, is a lot of the, I honestly think the film would have been better if it didn't have that entire subplot.
Yeah.
Like, if it was, like, even if it still just progressed naturally towards its end, I think that is a very weak subplot. I think it introduces a tension that ultimately is diffused with nothing really happening.
Yes,
and
time.
I don't get why straight people's, like, go-to, like, ultimate emotional betrayal is always a dude trying to fuck his brother's wife.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like I know why straight people are like this. Just
because it's like, it doesn't come off like she's actually into him. So it's just that he's trying to fuck her.
Literally. Or like, maybe they have some sort of history, but I mean, like, that just kind of makes the sort of, I don't want to say misogynist, but I mean, like, it just pulls from like such a very specific kind of wellspring of folklore that deals with infidelity and, the brother's wife and like, all of this stuff that's like...
Infidelity is the problem of the woman, even if,
even if she literally masterminds, like a way to not...
A fucking Home Alone trap to
prevent infidelity.
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah.
It's like a weak subplot that doesn't really go anywhere, and I guess there's like... It's the payoff of the whole thing of the fact that she killed Ada's real mom. But again, I don't think you really needed that to be there for that to be the payoff of it.
Yeah.
And it still has this weird thing of like, oh, your punishment for doing this is that your husband's brother is going to try to fuck you.
I don't know. It's a really strong, like, 30-minute short film. You know what I mean? That is just kind of bogged down by all of this extra context that, doesn't attach itself very well. Like, the tissue doesn't, it doesn't all come together. And that's...
Yeah, no, the sinews are there, but not necessarily sinewed together.
Yeah. I mean, and it's especially frustrating because it's such a beautiful movie and it's so, it's paced wonderfully, I think, in spite of those problems with like the plot and all that stuff. Like, I think that the way that it plods along is really, 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 really good. But I just, it's just a frustrating problem to have where it's kind of, kind of on both sides of the line as far as like where it wants to have its focus. And I almost felt like, so I saw so many people talking about it, and talking about how like the lamb, I don't know. I think that like there's, I wouldn't besmirch someone for thinking that this is a stupid argument or whatever, but I also do kind of agree with it in the sense that like the lamb should probably be in the movie more.
Yeah, no, I get why people, one of the friends I saw it with was joking that like it felt like the movie was almost like aware of what the ad campaign for this would look like, and so it's like, oh, you came here to see a cute little lamb kid? Fuck you.
Fuck you. You're watching Weird Infidelity and some beautiful mountain ranges.
The lamb kid's not the point, except that I guess it kind of is what the story hinges on.
Yeah.
Because like if the lamb kid's not the point, then I don't give a shit about these people, like these three people's problems. Like I don't fucking care. I'm sorry.
I'm of two minds about it because it's like, oh, the lamb could have been more of a character, but it clearly wasn't supposed to be a character. It was clearly supposed to be like just kind of like a thing, like a part of the metaphor and like all of this other stuff. I don't know. There's a lot of ways certainly that this could have gone. And I think I liked this in a general sense a lot better than other people did, because I think a lot of people didn't so much see the value kind of outside of maybe whatever the expectations are at this point. Because one other thing that we do kind of have to talk about here is that this is an A24 A24 sort of acquirement, I guess.
I was about to say it is okay. We got to get into the A24 discourse. This is where there'd be like a title card or something. I get it. I know A24 isn't a production company. I know they just give people money. I'm not stupid. You're not stupid. No one here is stupid.
Right.
I do feel like people are starting to reach the same sort of saturation effect that people got towards the MCU because of the way A24 markets its films, is as if they do a lot more. As if they are, and like, because ultimately they are cultivating and curating like a vibe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like they put out plenty films that like don't really get the same marketing push, that are usually not as much of their thing, but have the same sort of vibe, let's say.
Yo, are they doing a fucking Irma Vep like show for HBO? Because I'll lose my fucking mind.
Yeah, no, they do weird shit like that all the time. They've
oh my god,
in the before they kind of blew up as that, they had a bunch of stuff that was like really like not something like, I mean, Killing of a Sacred Deer is an A24 film.
Yeah.
At the same time, Oasis Supersonic, A History of the Britpop band Oasis, is also an A24 film.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of there's certainly a spectrum, right?
They have a lot of type of films, and even films that came out fairly recently that just didn't get the same sort of attention and the same sort of like, this is another A24 film, like Waves.
There was The Green Knight, which we never we never talked about, did we?
It's pretty. There you go.
It's pretty and not much else.
Dude, I didn't even know this. They were part of False Positive, the fucking really shitty movie that Alana Glazer was in.
Oh God, yeah, that just
I didn't know that was an A24 joint.
That don't look too great.
Did not look at they have plenty of things that just aren't given that same sort of attention. But I do also get it, where it's like, because the kind of movies that get very heavily branded with the an A24 joint get that sort of like, have a specific vibe, and that vibe is like becoming the new standard norm for a lot of specific type of, let's call them middlebrow films.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I get why people are getting annoyed by it. I will also say, at the same time, A24 haters, just as annoying.
Oh, I mean, everyone's annoying. Everyone except for us is annoying.
Everybody's opinions except for ours are annoying and based entirely on reacting to people who they don't like on the internet. And only we will watch a film and judge it simply for what it is.
Yeah.
Boring.
We are the only ones who see with eyes unclouded outside of the Twitter high school bullshit. And we're here to tell you, yeah, sometimes A24 misses.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
A24, it's just a production company. Like,
It's-
there's... Yeah, all you're really going to get from it is, like, that they curate a specific vibe or, like, curate specific styles of films. And you can
Yeah.
I mean, in that way, it's sort of like, like Mubi also curates specific types of films. And I like Mubi. If something goes on Mubi, I'm like, hell, I'll check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I mean, like, there's the sort of, the alternate thing of just, like, I don't know, maybe it's the zeitgeist, you know what I mean? Because, like, people, A24, like you said, they're just a distributor. But, like, you can imagine the A24, like, execs sitting there watching the shot of the lamb getting, like, the flower crown put on its head and just, like, slapping their stomachs and just, oh, this is great. This is perfect for us.
They're at the Cannes Film Festival, and that shot comes on the screen, and they just stand up and just throw money at it. Just start throwing fucking money at it.
Fully soy-facing in the middle of the Cannes audience. Yeah, just absolutely.
Do you think that in Cannes there's like a group chat where people are making like soy jack edits about like A24 guys? Like, oh, I can't stand when the A24 guys come to a screening.
Honestly, the like group chat drama and like gossip at Con is probably off the fucking chain. It's probably unbelievable.
Leak it. Someone leak it.
Can someone please leak the independent cinema drama? Please, can
I need to hear indie drama group DM gossip.
We need the goss. Who has Joaquin Phoenix pissed off this year? Who, who's Ari Aster dating? I want to know everything.
Yeah, what weird thing is Ari Aster into? I bet I can guess.
Stop!
Real side note before we get too close to the end. So I didn't know that this film was written by Sion, one of those one guy's names, Icelandic poet, novelist, frequently collaborates with the singer Bjork. I really wish he had listed himself under his other name he's used for his work, Johnny Triumph.
Johnny Triumph. Oh, wow. When was he named that?
When he was part of the Sugar Cubes.
Oh, yeah, okay. That makes sense. It would make sense as to why he's a friend of Bjork as well. Bring that back. Bring back Johnny Triumph.
Yeah.
Why not? That's so 90s. That's beautiful.
Yeah, no, I saw that and in his detail and I was like, oh yeah, no, he should have been under Johnny Triumph. None of this one name stuff.
Yeah. I do believe it's probably illegal to be an Icelandic citizen and not be friends with Bjork.
I think you're gonna say and not just go by one name.
Well, that too. They just like hunt you down and shoot you if you aren't like mono, I guess they still have farming there. Wish that were me. Wish that were America, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we do.
Yeah, not for long.
Factory style, baby. I really hope that the trailer for this really just is the nail in the coffin on the fucking music editing trend for trailers.
Yeah.
Cause it is a fucking joke. It's the Beach Boys one.
Yeah, okay, that sucks. That's a bad trailer.
Yeah, that's I really gotta we now more than ever we need to bring back scary movie style parodies, but specifically for just A24 films.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they need to be whipped into shape on how they fucking advertise this shit, because I mean, like, so much of the disappointment around this movie could have been curbed if they had more modest intentions for it, because like not everybody wants to really watch a folklore slow cinema ballad or whatever. That's
Yeah, I think a good trailer would have been one that emphasizes the sort of first half of it or the film, and then near the end, like when you have the part where Peter, when he sees Ada and he's just like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And then that's the trailer. So then okay, there's something that where like there's going to be this peaceful thing and there's something fucked up in their house and they have a lamb. And it somehow involves lambs because the movie's named Lamb.
Because the movie's called Lamb.
Lamb.
Yeah. I mean, it's a hard job. They had to sell this movie without overselling it, and they kind of
And also not telling people that it's not in English.
yeah, and also not telling people that it's not really a horror movie.
Yeah.
Or whatever, I don't know, whatever new version of horror exists now that Midsummer has been made.
They straight up have a shot in the trailer, if I remember correctly, that looks like it's a POV shot of the entity, and it's just not. Because it's a scene with Maria, but Maria never encounters the entity. So it's just a regular, like, camera dolly shot.
Right.
But they, like, put the entity noises over it so it looks like it's looming over her.
Well, you know, you gotta do all sorts of fun stuff in trailers, all sorts of goofy fakery, just like in the movies in general. It's all just pulling wool over your eyes.
Yeah.
Oh! Oh! You see what I did there?
What you did. I see what you did there.
Like a lamb's wool. Ah, cha 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 cha.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of pulling the wool over eyes, I think it's time for me to pull the wool over my eyes.
Ooh, as in I don't. Do you mean like sleep?
Probably, yeah. I mean, unless you have anything else to say about this, unless you have some, unless you're done, unless you have more to say, I'm ready to start counting sheep.
Oh, well, you're not gonna be counting long. There's only one. Well, half of one, really.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I'm set here. I think I've kind of gotten it all out. I've talked about Lamb to the best of my ability. So I'll have to. I'll have to think twice when I go to the farmer's market and they've got, lamb chops,
Explain.
Huh?
Explain. I don't understand. No.
I will not.
Okay.
In fact, I will simply leave.
Oh. She disappeared. Well. Maybe I should get into veterinary work.